What's good in the hood YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you guys another video, and today I'm bringing you guys a video on Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel episodes 13 and 14 regarding the summaries. Episode 13 I discussed already in a video that I posted yesterday, along with episode 12 regarding their summaries, but the main reason why I'm discussing 13 again is because these summaries actually go into more detail on episode 13, and then they give us brand new summaries for episode 14. And episode 13 confirms something pretty big that this summary confirms something pretty big that many people were expecting to happen in the episode, but now it's confirmed. And then episode 14 is pretty major because it's an episode that many people weren't expecting to be released because it features a character that was from a crossover that was in this episode. But at the same time, it features someone that many people were hoping to be featured in the show for this episode. But now, if this episode's happening, it's very likely that they're gonna somehow stick that person into it, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. Don't worry, I definitely gonna talk about it. So let's get started. I wanted to mention this as well. These summaries and these titles that I'm going to mention are from the French site. So again, they are something that will change. We already know the episode title for episode 13, which is Prepare to Fail. But in France, the translation of it for the title is A Prepared Power Ranger is Worth Two. That's the translated title. Again, in French it probably is something very different, but just keep that in mind. But the description here says, while Sarah has successfully completed the first part of the math check, she prefers to go to the movies rather than revising for the second part. At the same time, it says Miss Odious, although in our case it's Madame Odious, sends Brax, one of her best elements, to fight the Power Rangers. Probably in America it wouldn't translate to elements, probably best warriors to fight the Power Rangers. So main points here. Okay, sounds like Sarah's slacking. And it sounds like there's a project or a test. That was something that was already kind of confirmed with the original summary, but this kind of expands on that. It also mentions and confirms that Brax is going to be in this episode. Brax, for those who do not know, was a major character in the Japanese show. The character's name in Japan was Mangetsu. So this now this officially confirms that Brax is going to be introduced in episode 13, which is very cool. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing his introduction. He isn't a super long lasting character, but he's still pretty important, so it should be interesting to see how he'll function. But yeah, so that will be cool to see. Now, as far as episode 14 goes, the French title, which again may change, but I don't think it will, just because the title sounds pretty straightforward and simple, and I don't see why they would need to, but they might do it anyway, is A New Ally. And the description is, in this case it says Miss Odious. In our case it's Madame Odious asks Sheriff Skyfire to fight the Rangers who stole the Prism Nexus, which in our case is the Ninja Nexus Prism. The sheriff realizes that she has lied to him and decides, as an officer of the Space Police, to fight alongside the Rangers. Okay, so Sheriff Skyfire. Most people probably just think it's just some random character. If you know the Japanese show, Sheriff Skyfire is actually Jiraiya from the Metal Hero series from 1988. There was a crossover episode in Ninja, the Japanese show, that's equivalent to Power Rangers, Ninja Steel, and Super Ninja Steel, where this character makes an appearance. In Japan, there was a whole story that relates to his character and his past and everything. Because they're releasing this episode in America, they're having to rewrite it so that they can feature this character and make it so that he's a brand new story, which works. Again, that's the only way that you can do this, and it will make sense. But it will be cool, because what that will lead to is the Rangers fighting alongside Sheriff Skyfire. So that's going to be cool to see. Definitely a different name from his Japanese counterpart, which is Jiraiya, but I'm looking forward to seeing it anyway, just to see how it's going to work. Also, for those who do not know, that episode is the episode that people know from the Japanese show where Yoshi Sadero, so the actor that played Koda in Power Rangers Dino Charge and Dino Supercharge, made his cameo in the Japanese show. So likely what they'll probably have happen, because the character that he actually interacts with in the Japanese show is the Blue Ranger from the Japanese equivalent of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, which works as well because, for those who do not know, Yoshi Sadero, who played Koda, the Dino Charge Blue Ranger, is the brother of Peter Sadero, the actor that plays Preston, the Blue Ninja Steel Ranger. So in other words, they're basically setting it up so that way, that interaction that happened in Japan can happen in America, even if it happens in voiceover. They're still going to make it work. Even if they're not directly interacting in that scene together, which maybe they will. Maybe they'll expand the scene, but if not, it's still kind of cool that they're somehow managing to connect that. And it almost seems like they maybe were thinking in advance this, like maybe we want to have that connection happen for this episode to happen. Again, not sure if that was the case, but it is an interesting point that many people, I'm sure, will be acknowledging and mentioning, because if there is that discussion that occurs, that will further confirm the potential of this happening. And believe me, it could be really cool. It's going to be a very cool episode. Believe me, I'm very excited to see episode 13 and 14. These episodes sound really, really cool. 14, I can't wait to just see also Jiraiya, how he's going to function in this. Again, Sheriff Skyfire for us, but it's going to be very interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this episode. Both of them, really. I think that these are going to be some really cool episodes, and that's about it for me otherwise, but I just wanted to go over those summaries because I'm sure that some people are really excited, some people are, uncertain, but I thought I would discuss it anyway just because it sounds like a pretty cool idea, and, we're going to be seeing these episodes anyway. As far as when these episodes will be releasing, episode 13 is going to release on September 15th. Episode 14 doesn't have an official confirmation release date, but it's expected to release on September 22nd, if I had to guess. As far as September 29th goes, that's the day of play, I believe. So typically what that means is it's the one day where they tend to not release new episodes of anything. So just keep that in mind. If you're hoping to see a new episode that week, it probably won't happen. So they'll probably be releasing episodes all the way up until that point. They'll take a break, and then in October they'll start fresh. So just keep that in mind. So otherwise, that's about it. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to know your opinions about this episode, about these episode summaries. Which one are you more excited for? Are you looking forward to seeing Sheriff Skyfire? Are you looking forward to seeing Brax? Leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye, guys.